What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. I'm sure that by now you must have heard about the fire at Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris. That's a Catholic church that has been in existence since 1160 AD, more than 800 years ago. Definitely a landmark. It's sad that it got burnt down, but thank God that nobody was injured or killed. But did you notice that within 2 days, people had pledged more than $1 billion for the rebuilding of the cathedral? I was like, wait, what? More than $1 billion within 2 days? Father. They're trying to raise $2 billion, and I'm very sure that they will. At first, I was like, whoa, they're billionaires, really care. I mean, and then my brother in crime, that is Dr. Damages, was trying to be an enemy of progress. He said, Adeola, do you know why they were donating money? It's because this is a monument and their names will be written as donors for hundreds of years to come. I said, okay. But for real, we have rich people in Africa as well that can save lives, not monuments. When the cyclone Idai, that was the recent hurricane that affected Mozambique, Malawi, Zimbabwe happened, that killed more than 1,000 people. One of the worst tropical cyclones on record to affect Africa and the Southern Hemisphere. How come people didn't donate millions of dollars like they were doing, in France? It breaks my heart that when disasters happen in Africa and people die, and a lot of people die actually, it doesn't always get much publicity as when disasters happen in the Western world. And I think that before the world would care about what's happening in Africa, we Africans have to start caring for ourselves. Imagine how ridiculous it is to hear that a king in Ivory Coast would say that he couldn't sleep because of the fire in France. I was like, wait, what? He said the cathedral represents a strong link between his kingdom and France. I said, you don't mean it. And then, the link he gave was that a prince from his kingdom was taken to France in the 1700s, and while there, he was baptized in this same cathedral. I was like, okay, so your relative was baptized at the cathedral? I mean, no wonder he couldn't sleep. That is enough to keep somebody awake. I was still trying to digest that. When I read that he pledged to donate towards the rebuilding in France, I said, wait, the devil is a liar. I'm not against donating towards the rebuilding of the cathedral, but has he taken care of his own people? My people from Ivory Coast, please testify. Where was this man when Ivory Coast pleaded for $865 million loan from France to finance their 2019 budget? Why is Ivory Coast borrowing money from China to develop their ports when they have a king that could send money to France? And also, there was a major fire at a market in the capital less than 2 years ago. Did the king donate money? Maybe he did and I just didn't know about it. Please, my people in Ivory Coast, please confirm.
Nous ne comprenons pas ce qui se passe dans ce marché au juste. Parce qu'à chaque fois, c'est les mêmes choses qui se répètent. À chaque fois, c'est les mêmes choses qui se répètent. Et quand l'État vient sur le terrain, ils nous promettent de nous aider. Mais à chaque fois, quand les choses brûlent, on ne voit pas ce qu'ils disent. Ce qu'ils disent là, ils ne mettent pas ça, on ne voit pas ça se concrétiser en réalité.
Last year there was fire at one of their telecom facilities that disrupted telecommunication services across the country. Also, 18 people were killed by flood in Ivory Coast last year. Did this king help those who were displaced and those who were affected? I'm not yabbing the man. I'm just saying, because it's possible that he donated. But all these African leaders that are quick to send condolences when things happen abroad, they are not getting backlash from their own people because they are not as quick to respond to disasters in their own countries. Ghanaians were yabbing their president left and right for not saying anything about the people that were killed by rainfall in Ghana. Meanwhile, he was tweeting about the fire in France. I said, why are they yabbing the man? Have they forgotten that the man is trying to raise $100 million to build a cathedral in Ghana as well? Obviously, cathedrals are very important to the man. So please don't blame him for extending heartfelt condolences to the French people on their great loss. That's exactly what he wrote. Anyway, all I'm saying is it's okay to care about disasters in Western countries, but we need to also start caring about our own people as well. And I'm not just talking about the leaders. We, the common people, we need to start caring about ourselves. We need to stop turning blind eyes to the widows and the children driven out of school, our neighbors, and so on and so forth. So please, let's stop changing our Facebook profile picture to the flag of France if we are not helping our neighbors at home. But I want to know what you guys think about the fire and also the king that is trying to donate money for the rebuilding of the cathedral. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So what do you guys think about the judgment against Nigeria's former Chief Justice Onnoghen? That is the man that Buhari fired just before the election. Remember, we were all shouting at the time. He was accused of false asset declaration. Now, Onnoghen has been pronounced guilty by the CCT, and the tribunal ruled that he should forfeit the funds in the 5 bank accounts which he was accused of not disclosing. They also ordered that he should not be allowed to occupy any public office for the next 10 years, father. Before now, he had sent a notice of retirement to Buhari in line with the recommendation of the National Judicial Council. So, of course, Nigerians have mixed reactions about this. You know, some people are praising the government. Some are like, wait, what just happened? This person said, waiting for when Senator Akpabio will also be jailed for corrupt enrichment while in office as governor of Akwa Ibom State. Umbo, what do you think? What do you guys think? Now, this person says, Baba Buhari is working. Oh, Walter Onnoghen is gone. Okay. Reno Omokri. You guys know Reno Omokri. The man likes to wahala. He said Onnoghen convicted and banned from public office by the Buhari administration. Meanwhile, Mena was reinstated and then given double promotion and then armed guards by the same Buhari government. Under Buhari, when EFCC seized the broom, they passed over to the next APC member. He spilled the beans. He spilled the beans. So, see, me, I have no problem with justice. I have no problem with justice whatsoever if we would use the same yardstick for everyone. But right now, I don't care whether you like Buhari or not. His government has been one-sided. We can count a lot of people in APC that have gotten away with so much. Many of them re-elected as senators or governors. I mean, how can we forget the governor of Kano, for example, after, you know, allegedly collecting $5 million bribe? I mean, the man just happens to be Buhari's friend. And of course, Mena, who was reinstated, seriously. I mean, come on. You know, I want to know what you guys think about this Onnoghen's judgment. Keep in mind that the man has appealed at the appeal court. So they'll be going to the appeal court very soon. You guys not know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And moving on to Ghana, is it true that there is a village in Ghana where pregnant women are not allowed to deliver their babies? Father Lord Almighty, so people can have sex, but when it's time for the results, they have to go out of town. You are kidding me. I guess sex is holy. I'm so sorry. You know, the gods must like sex. Apparently, everyone in the town was born elsewhere, and also dead people are buried elsewhere. And of course, they are not raising animals in this village. I really would like to hear from Ghanaians because I've read a lot of comments online where some Ghanaians are saying that there's more to the story, but they are not telling us exactly what it is. So I'd like to know, is this for real or not? And also, what's the story that the media is not talking about? And if you're not from Ghana, would you like to have a video like this? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So I was at the Nigerian embassy in New York last September. I've been wanting to talk about this in September. And all I just want to say is to thank all the staff there for being so kind to your girl. I was like, wait, what? You know, I have to say this because I'm usually complaining about their services. In fact, there was one time in 2016, there was one day like that where I was not allowed to enter the embassy. They said, order from above. Because I reported the fact that they had no AC for weeks. And you know, you couldn't open the windows there. Can you imagine? I was not allowed to enter my own embassy. On top of that, they didn't pay their workers for months. But you know what's funny is the fact that not long after that episode came out, they paid all of them. They paid them and they fixed their AC. So when they do something good, I feel like I should also highlight that so that they can know that we notice and also to encourage them. Because a lot of people get frustrated whenever they have to go to Nigerian embassy, and it shouldn't be like that. It's supposed to be a home away from home. So this particular day in September of 2018, I felt at home at my embassy, thanks to all the staff at the passport department and also Mr. Chris and Mrs. Comfort. You know, I went with someone to renew their passport and they got the passport the same day. God bless you. Thank you so much, all my mommies and daddies at the Nigerian embassy in New York. I know I always complain about you, but that day you did so well. Thank you so much. Please continue to treat people right, because it's the right thing to do and we would always appreciate it when you do the right thing. I'm hoping that it wasn't because it's Adeola, you know. It would be wonderful if all Nigerians that come in there can be treated nice. People will talk, they will talk about it. So please continue to do us well. Now that I have, you know, said good things about you, I cannot turn blind eyes to other issues. Which is how the representatives of the Nigerian embassy that travel, especially to LA, have been treating Nigerians. You know, I've been hearing a lot of stories about how they charge people about $300. You know, in fact, I think it's more than $300. And then the passport would not even be ready when they say that it would. Not only that, there's a lot of fake websites now claiming to work for Nigerian embassy, and they have online payment portal. So a lot of Nigerians have been scammed by paying to those people. Please take steps to shut down these third parties. You know, some people are saying that, oh, the embassy knows about it. I don't think that the embassy would knowingly connive with scammers. I mean, that would be horrible. And you know, one way to prove that you have nothing to do with these scammers is to shut them down. People have been complaining for years actually, and you need to install online payment service on all Nigerian embassy websites. And you know, I'm not talking about payment through a third party, because sometimes you would try to make payment and then you would call the phone line and you would hear an Indian picking up the phone or a Chinese person because you want to pay, and you're like, wait, did I call the wrong embassy? Imagine a family of 3 renewing their passport in LA, paying $300 each in the name of fast tracking the process. About 400 people were attended to every day for 3 days in LA. Multiply that by $300. Is the Nigerian government aware how much these people charge when they travel? Because people don't get receipts. And on top of that, they refuse to deliver the passport when they promised that they would deliver. Some people had already bought plane tickets to travel. In fact, I know someone who had to get a letter from a government official that said her daughter is a Nigerian citizen before they allowed her to travel with her American passport and then apply for visa on arrival, for which she had to pay another $180 for when she landed in Lagos. And she had paid $40 for express shipping. Guess when the passport was delivered? 1 month after she got to Nigeria. That was when the Nigerian passport was delivered in LA. You see, I'm not just criticizing you. I want you to do better, so I can come here and do young guy about you. The good thing is that the Nigerian government has approved that our passport be valid for 10 years. Woo! Father, which means you won't have to worry about renewing your passport for 10 years after you get it done. So kudos to the Nigerian government for doing that. Also, a viewer by the name Stefano sent me an email where he said, we got a new ambassador for our embassy in Moscow. He relates and listens to Nigerians by putting workable procedures in place. Big shout out to him and his family. This person is referring to Ambassador Steve Davis Uba. Thank you so much, sir. People are talking about you. You see what I'm saying? People appreciate a leader that is accommodating, a leader that gets the job done, a leader that is approachable and treats people right. You know, I went on their website and I saw some of the things that the man is doing, and I just want him to know, in case someone that knows him is watching, that we see what he's doing and we appreciate it. Let me know about your experience at the Nigerian embassy that you go to in the comment section below, and if service has improved at your embassy, let me know as well. It's important for us to highlight both the good and the bad. You guys not doing much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.